Welcome to the Art Lady channel. Today we're going to be working on the letters P, Q, and R in a one-point perspective. And I'm going to show you very quickly just how to do these. And these are in just simplified block forms. This is going to be where the P is going to be, and then the Q right in here, and then the R right in here. Now I'm going to block out the letters. P, let me erase this a little bit. I want to get it a little bit fatter here. I like ending, I want this to be parallel with, well, I guess it can't be parallel. I like ending it like here. Here's my R. Oops. And I want this to meet in here. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and take my Sharpie. And this is just rough, very rough and fast. Now I'm going to take my Sharpie. Now if you're going to do a poster or whatever you're going to take, you would take your time, you know, and get these letters a little bit neater. But I'm just going to rough them out right now for the learning purposes. So here's P, and then I'm just going to freehand this Q. And if I were to do this on a, I'm going to give this a cute angle here. You know, if I was going to do this in a poster, I'd probably use some circle templates or something. Or oval templates. There's a Q, and now my R. When I do the R, I like to have this line up, and then the bottom straight over here. And then this is going to be almost, these lines are almost equal distance as they come around. So there's the PQR. Now my one-point perspective is down here, so put your eye view in. My eye view is actually right here. And so I'm going to slide everything back, or pull everything back to the vanishing point right here. So I'm doing all corners where everything intersects. And then since it's a curve, it's the widest point of the curve, so I wouldn't do low here. So the widest point comes back to perspective. So then this follows. This is the thickness of the letter P, and where it intersects here. And then it would just drop down. See where it intersects this vanishing line that goes to the vanishing point? So this would drop down straight. These two are parallel. And then the line is going to be parallel to the bottom here. If you use rulers, it's easier to see parallel, because I'm looking at my ruler and then I'm looking at this line. So come across. So now I have P. Now the inside, the thickness of this will be the same as the thickness of this. So you can just simply take this and draw up. So now I have P. So I'm going to trace all my good lines. Oops, sometimes it's easier to just freehand. It's definitely faster for me, at least. And then you're going to color that in, or this can be the shadow of the letter. So if the letter's purple, this could be dark purple, because where it recedes back creates a shadow. So there is the P. So this is a combination of a straight letter and a curved letter. And now I'm going to work on the Q. So we're going to bring that into perspective. Again, the widest point here comes back to the vanishing point. And then I'm going to bring back any corners, any edges to the vanishing point. And the widest part of the circle, which is here, so you see none of this will show back in this way to the vanishing point. So I won't see the side of that, but I'm going to see the side of this in here. So if you want to give a couple marks like this, this will just help you. Because it's the inside here that you'll see. Okay, and it'll come from here, give a little bit of thickness here. And then we'll come down and around to the center here. So it's from the center, down and around. Now I am going to see some of this little stem here of the Q. So this will give me a little bit of shadow, and then this shadow in here. So now I'm going to go ahead. Oh, and I forgot to sketch out this part here. So the bottom, I'm going to see a little bit of this bottom as well. So this bottom is going to come around, the thickness of it. This is going to come down. This is going to mimic this line. So this is a diagonal, but this is still going to be parallel. So this little Q part coming out, this line, this has to be parallel. These two lines parallel, and then the bottom line parallel. Come across and keep that parallel. So my Q, I want this to dip a little bit more. So my Q, here, I'm gonna find the thinnest Sharpie I have. So the Q comes down here. I get the bottom of the Q, then I'm gonna get the little stem of the Q. It has this odd shaped little box. My stem of the Q here, and then a little bit on the inside. And then this is the inside here, a little bit showing on this inside. But this is going to mimic this curve here. So now when I color it all in, here is the Q. And now I'm going to do my R. Vanishing point. And this I see very little of on that side. So I'm going to set my bottom thicknesses, how thick the letter is going to be. And then I would come and I would match. So this is parallel with the inside of this line. So it connects to this. So my ruler wants to be parallel with this line, right up there. So here's the thickness of this, the thickness of this. Now my side of the R has to be parallel to this side. So this is forming actually right here a right angle for this one, because this is a right angle here, so it's going to match the angle. These two angles match as well. Now I won't see any shadow on this side, but I do see a little bit of a hair shadow in here. The thickness would show here. So I mimic this curve here, and it disappears in. So now, what does that look like 3D? Adding the black to it. And it just makes the letters pop when you add the black. Any long lines, I always do. It's easier with this. The shorter lines you can do with a ruler. That's up to you. Or if you have a fairly steady hand, you can just do it with the free hand, coloring it in. Now I'm going to erase my lines. I'm going to finish coloring this in, erase my lines, and you'll see what it's going to look like when they're done. Getting a little shaky. Okay, so here's my letters Q. The letter Q. P. And R. And a 1 point perspective. There you have it.